We're good. Okay, look, I already don't need this. Just a few more people in the room and it's nice and comfortable. So anyway, hi out there in Facebook land. I'm Jessica Lewis, and the name of my company is Sculpt Your Life, and the name of the practice we're going to do today is Tai Chi Cha. And, there's a lot of Tai Chi practices in the world. There just are. But the one big distinction between Tai Chi Cha and other styles of Tai Chi and even Qigong is there's nothing martial about this. This isn't a slow-mo karate, which is really the case with all the other styles of Tai Chi and Qigong. It's just, very slow-moving martial arts. Instead, all we're going to be doing is a moving mindfulness practice. Who doesn't need more mindfulness, right? I always think everybody should do a little Tai Chi. Cha. See, even I make mistakes sometimes. So, and we're here at the Cancer Support Community. We're here every first and third Wednesdays. We recently switched that. So let's just get down to business. Okay. All right. So raise your hand if you feel like you will be doing at least part of your practice in the chair today. Oh, everybody. So that's good though, because I always say there's nothing less than about the seated practice. It's every bit as powerful. I think in some ways it's more powerful because for people that don't have to sit down, if they do the practice seated, sometimes they learn something different about how to do the practice standing. So I think it informs the standing practice. So why don't we do a few of the moves in all the different directions seated. And then at that point, I may switch to standing. And if y'all want to stand with me, you can. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. That's like that. Good. All right. So before we do anything though, let's just do a little bit of old-fashioned mindfulness. The kind where you just sit in your chair and notice something. So if you're leaning back against your chair, just scooch a little bit forward because the goal here is for you to be in charge of your own body alignment, but to find the spot for your upper body where it's just sort of balanced right there on top of your pelvis or really your sit bones. You know what a rock cairn looks like? A bunch of stones stacked up, right? So it's not hard for the upper stones to sit there. They just sit on top of the lower stone. It's just a question of balance. So feel your sit bones pushing down to the chair. And then just find a sweet spot for the rest of your upper body where it's just effortlessly balanced on top of that. And if your knees aren't already sort of kind of in front of your hips, go ahead and put them there. And if your feet aren't already kind of sort of beneath your knees, go ahead and put them there. And just place your hands on your legs. And just feel your legs holding up your hands. Feel the chair holding up your body. A nice metaphor for all the support we have out there if we're willing to take it in. And then let your mind's eye just kind of float down to some place beneath your belly button, inside your body. Just look around in there for thoughts or sensations. And then pick one to focus on, and I'm going to ring my singing bowl. And your whole job until I ring it again and bring you back is just to notice anything you happen to notice about this spot you've chosen to pay attention to. So let's begin. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the room. And take a deep breath because breathing's good. And if your eyes are still closed, you can go ahead and open them. So, another big difference to my, I'm telling this to my online audience in case they're not familiar, between Tai Chi Cha and all the other Tai Chi practices and Qigong practices out there is rather than flowing constantly from moment one all the way through moment whenever you stop your practice, we're going to start from rest, we're going to move, and then we're going to flow back to rest and just notice the energy in your body settling down. So if you're doing the practice in your chair, this is what we would call the rest position when you're seated, right? The way we are right now. So just feel your sit bones pushing down to the chair. Just a moment. And just notice the very upright posture you're maintaining here without any work. I always say that the best way to do Tai Chi Chuan is with the effort of no effort. And let's begin with some of the forward backward moves, okay? So we're just going to let the weight in your butt kind of shift toward the back of your butt, and you might feel your upper body kind of contracting a little bit, getting a little shorter. You feel a little shortening, like maybe an eighth of an inch. It's not a lot. Good. And the hands are just going to go here. Good. And then just feel the weight in your butt move towards the front of your butt. And you might feel your upper body feeling a little bit longer. And sometimes it's less obvious until you really start to move. Nice. And remember, we're looking for the effort of no effort here, if we can. Sometimes if we look too hard, it becomes more elusive. Ah, nice. Wonderful. And it's certainly not a rule, it's not a have to, but if we can all flow in unison, you might find that it's easier and more fun. Let's do two more. And last one. And to end it, we're just going to let our hands flow down to our legs. And just check in with your body and see if you feel the energy kind of slowing down in there. Do you feel that? I feel it because I'm looking for it. But some people say they feel it. So when we're doing the moving parts of Tai Chi Chuan, we're activating and circulating the energy that's already in your body. And when we do the resting parts, we're letting all that energy settle back down in the marrow of your bones. It's cool. All right, I'll tell you what, let's do one of the moves in which one foot is farther out than the other. Why don't we do bass drum? Everybody likes bass drum, right? And since I'm facing most of you, we're sort of in a semicircular formation today, but I'm looking mostly at most of you, right? I'll mirror you, okay? So let your left foot just move a little bit farther out than your right. It's mostly a metaphor. Because when you're standing up, one foot's going to be farther away, much farther away than this. And you're going to put your hands about shoulder width apart and just sort of let the fingers point up towards the sky. Yeah. And then we're going to do that same forward backward move we just did for rocking motion. We're just going to let the weight shift towards the front of the butt, and the fingertips are just going to trace around the outside edge. We call it a bass drum, and when you're sitting down, it's much smaller than that, right? Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Let's do one more. And we're going to rest. Feel your body at rest here for a moment. And let's do the other side. So you're going to let your right foot drift out there just a little bit. Good. Awesome. Now that we're really flowing, do you kind of feel that expansion of your upper body and the contraction? Do you feel it? More noticeable? Yeah. We all go through a lot to get to class. And sometimes it's hard to just be 100% here when you get here. It takes a bit. Nice. Nice. Let's do one more. And we're just going to flow back to rest. So I don't know about y'all, but for me, I mostly feel that expansion right here. You know what? I hardly ever get it out anymore, but I should have it handy. My model of the human pelvis. That's a good thing to have. Because all that's really happening when you're letting your weight shift towards the front of your butt and then the back of your butt is this. That's all that's happening. And not even that much. I'm just exaggerating to make an example, right? So that's why your belly feels like it gets rounder when you move forward and feels like it gets a little flatter when you move back. So let's do one more move with one foot further out than the other and see if you can in Tai Chi chest speak, we call this the Dantian down here. It's like a big ball of energy in the middle of your body. Let it push your hands out and pull them back in again, okay? Let's do push, pull. Speaking of pushing and pulling, go ahead and let your left foot be out there. I'm going to put the hands here. Yeah, and here we go. Nice. And the minute you're done moving forward and you feel that Dantian done and expanding, all you have to do is turn your hands around right there. Ah, nice. Sorry about that. Keep going. I'm expecting a phone call about my family member in the hospital. Let's do one more. And we're going to pause. Just feel your body resting. Right. And let's do the other side. There you go. Good. Nice. Let's do two more. Last one. And we're just going to rest right here. And just notice the sensations of your body when you're at rest. Uh, And now we're going to move on. Why don't we do a side to side move? I think I've talked to you all about this probably ad nauseum, but maybe the online people haven't heard it. If you boil mindfulness down to its absolute essence, all it really is paying attention to something you normally don't in the present moment and not judging yourself if your mind wanders, right? So that's one reason why Tai Chi is considered a moving mindfulness practice, because how often when you're sitting in your chair, do you think about the weight shifting like that much towards the front of your butt and then back towards the back? I mean, how often do you let that happen and think about it? Like I don't. Yeah. And then at the end of each movement, we just sit and observe the sensations of the body when you're not doing anything. Like how often do you do that? I have a mindfulness teacher who always says, whenever you get in the car, just wait for a moment and notice your body before you go anywhere. Like even that, you would add minutes and minutes and minutes of mindfulness to your day. You did that, right? So anyway, that's Tai Chi is sort of a ninja mindfulness trick, I think. So we're going to do a side to side move. And when you're doing the side to side moves, what's really happening is everything from here to here turns. And so the pelvis does this, but it also kind of tips a little bit to one side. And then when you come back to the middle, there it is again. And then when you turn to the side, it kind of tips to one side. So when you're sitting in the chair, if you're very body conscious, you may feel your dantian, or at least your belly, get a little bigger over here and a little bigger over there. But if you don't feel it, don't worry about it. It's happening whether you feel it or not, right? So let's do carry the ball to the side. So here we are just resting. And we're going to let this part of the body turn towards your right. And the way you'll know if that happens is your eyes are going to stay forward, but your belly button will be kind of pointing vaguely off towards the right, and your left shoulder will kind of pop out in front. You guys look good. So then you're just going to put your hands together kind of where your right shoulder used to be. And then you're just going to let your hands relax, your hands and your wrists relax, and then you're going to let the turning of the body carry them across the bottom, and the turning of the body carry them across the top. That's it. We're going to do just one more here, and when we get to the top, we're going to pause and feel the body resting. And let's do the same thing, 2 more sets of that, okay? Starting on your right. That's it. Nice. Really good. You guys look great. Ah, nice. And one more time. Oops, I'm losing my note here. Not my note, my hearing apparatus here. One more. And we're going to rest. Let me fix this. Hold on. Today's the day to have issues, right? Yeah, let's try this again. Well, I don't know if it's age for me. It's just happening. Things just happen. All right, let's do this again. Well, let's open a window, another window. Yeah, let's open this guy. And we put the fan on too. That's a good idea. I suddenly started feeling warm too. Yeah, click that on. Okay. Yeah, but we continue. That'll be better. She's just a hot person. She's hot. I get hot at strange moments. Yeah. Yeah. Thermoregulating is challenging. Yeah. Well, the other thing is sometimes when you're doing Tai Chi Chuan, people report that they get warm. Yeah. Yeah. I actually struggle with staying warm. I'm usually chilly, but when I do Tai Chi Chuan, I'm never really cold. Or if I am, I'm not aware of it. Let's put it that way. Let's do the 3 sets going the other way, though. Okay, good. This feels better, doesn't it? Yeah. You need a little movement in the room. Here we go. Good. Nice. One more. And we're going to rest. Nice. And again. One more. And we're going to rest. That's 3 sets? No. Let's do another 2. Let's do another. Yeah. I often tell people don't count, but then I'm glad when you do, when things like that happen. And we're going to rest. Good. Awesome. Okay, let's do one more move where one foot is further out than the other because I'm going to make an example out of it. Okay, and then I'll stand up. So let's put the left foot a little bit out. Let's do around the platter. Okay, so you're going to pretend there's a big turkey serving platter, like about the height of your heart, right out in front of your body. And you're going to put your hands near the back of it. And as the weight in your butt shifts towards the front of your butt, you might feel your dantian or your belly expanding and let it push the hands out over your left leg. So here we go. And as you shift backwards, let it pull them back. That's it. Nice. And remember, your upper body's kind of like that little stone cairn, right? So if we shift too far, the top rocks are going to topple off. You just want to shift a little bit. And we're going to do one more. And we're going to rest. And now we're going to do the other side. Since your right leg is out there now, the hands are going to flow out over it. Here we go. Nice. Really good. Let's do one more. And just feel the sensations in your body when you're resting. Very nice. All right, so I'm going to stand up. If you don't want to, do not. But let's do around the platter variation, which is just like the one we just did, only with a variation. There's your sign. All right. So first we're just going to feel the body at rest. If you're standing, yeah, you're just going to put your feet in sort of a little bit of a V shape that feels good to you. Everybody's body is different, even from side to side. And you're just going to let your tailbone kind of tuck a little bit. So what you're going to feel is your knees are going to shift slightly forward. And suddenly the weight in your feet is going to feel totally balanced. I want it to be very distributed across the soles of both your feet. And you're just going to put your hands pretty much where they were at when they were resting on your legs. Okay? I want you to feel very solid and firm from the hip bones down here. And then see if you can let all of your weight sort of drop down into your right leg. And when that happens, just extend your left knee. That's it. And so now our foot is much farther out than it was when we were seated. And you folks who are seated, just put your left foot a little bit out there. Okay? And here's our platter again. Let's do a couple around the platters and then we'll add the variation. So here we go. We're just letting all the weight shift up to the front foot and then back to the back foot or towards the front of your butt if you're seated and back to the back of your butt. Let's do one more like this. And now we're going to add the variation right here. It's like suddenly there's a ball of energy between your hands, and you just sort of show it up to the front of the platter and it falls off. Nice. One more. And here we're just going to stand up on the back foot. Yeah. And feel your body resting. Good. And let's do the other side. So let all the weight drop down into your left foot now. And then extend your empty right knee. And we'll do the same combination so that we don't walk out of here all unbalanced, right? 3 regular around the platters and 6 with the variation. So the reason why I wanted to do this move is because I think it's a great metaphor for, how stuff just comes up. I could use another word that starts with an S. Let's add the variation. That's true in life though, right? You often don't see things coming. It just happens. And then sometimes they just go away. Let's do one more. And right here, we're going to just feel the body resting. Good. And again, since I'm waiting for an emergency text here, I'm just going to check. Sorry about that, guys. So here's the thing. Um, when stuff happens, if we get very tense, often it makes our experience harder, right? The thing about Tai Chi is we try to stay as effortless as we can. And I think it's a great metaphor for how to deal with stuff when stuff happens. Let's do carry the ball to the side standing too, all right? And then we're going to do some of the other more complex side-to-side moves. Because it's another one where you get to have a handful of stuff between your hands, all right? So here we are, we're just resting. If you're standing with me, I want you to let all your weight flow into your right leg. And then again, we're going to turn this part of the body, and even the seated folks can do it with me, to your right, and then put the hands up sort of in the hole where your right shoulder used to be. And if you're standing, just let your empty left heel get out there. And here we go. Let's go extra slow so you can feel all the little feelings. On the third one, I want you to just stand up on your left foot. That's it. Good. And so we don't have anybody sitting in anybody's lap. We're going to go back again. All right, so let all the weight flow down into your left leg, and then let this part of the body turn to the left, and up go the hands. That's it. Nice. Really nice. And here we're just going to stand up on the right leg. That's it. Oh, you guys look great. Let's do one more set like that. Starting on your right. That's good. That was a good adjustment. Although yeah, there really is no such thing as bad Tai Chi. Ah, good. And let's start on your left now in order to flow to your right. Nice. And really nice. Good. So now you folks who are standing with me, you know everything there is to know about the side to side moves when you're standing. And I'll tell you what, let's do passing clouds, which is very much like the one we just did. I'm going to turn around so we're all going the same direction. That way I won't confuse anybody. And let's do it one hand at a time. So let's start on your left, and we're just going to let the left hand drift up. You can even let your right hand hang. And then hopefully your right leg feels very empty, so just let the heel stick out to the side there. And as we shift toward the right, it's going to pull the left hand along, just like we just did. And as we shift back again, it's going to push the hand across the top. Nice. Oh, that looks really good. I'll tell you what, let your left hand just hang down at the bottom, but let's keep turning to your right, and let's do a couple circles just with the right hand. Here we go. Nice. Good. Let your right hand just hang down here. But as we go to the left, let's start again. And this time we're going to add both arms together. And if you get confused, as long as you keep going softly, you're going to be fine. Okay, so here we go. You're still going to improve your health. All right, here comes the right hand in at the bottom. Because it turns out that moving in these very soft and slow and rhythmic, almost rocking, methodical ways really improves your health, even if you don't look like you're doing exactly the same thing as me. It's how you move rather than exactly what hand or what foot you move. Let's do 9 whole sets of this because everybody loves passing clouds. And let's do one more set here. And we're going to end by moving back the same direction we started from. Just feel your body resting. Good. All right. Let's do some of the other side to side moves. I'm just going to stay facing away. I think we're onto something here. Let's do pulling tappy. Okay. So we're going to let all the weight settle in the right leg, and we're going to let that middle portion of the body turn to the right. And we're just going to place the left arm kind of across your belly, almost like you have a tray of cookies on your hand. Let's just do one hand first. And let your empty left heel get out there. And we're just going to glide and slide into that left leg. And along comes the left hand. And then we'll just stand up and come back to rest. That's good. Let's go the other way. Let's do one more set like that. It's a little bit like setting up to throw a frisbee, isn't it? Only we're moving so softly and slowly, it's not going to go very far. Good. Now let's do another set with both hands. So the right arm is just going to sort of sneak up on top of the left. Nice. And let's do one more just like that. The left arm sneak up on top of the right. And let's just feel the body resting for a moment. Good. Awesome. Let's do wrist circles, Taffy. Okay. This one I love so much when I have a room full of people that are both seated and standing because I feel like everybody gets the same exact experience on this one. So we're all going to let our weight shift backwards a little bit, either standing or seated. And you're going to feel your upper body contract a little bit and just let your fingertips drop down by your sides. All right. And we're all going to shift a little bit forward and the fingertips are just going to come forward too. Let's just go up and down like this and let the fingertips draw circles in the air. We'll just keep doing that until it starts to feel very fluid. Nice. Let's do one more, just like that. Okay, now when you drop down, let your fingertips start to rise, but instead we're going to pull tappy from your right to your left. Now we're going to do just two sets of wrist circles. So here's one. This is the traditional way we do this move. And on the third one, as you drop down and the fingertips start to rise, you just pull tappy from your left to your right instead. Nice. Let's do two more sets just like that. So the two complete sets of wrist circles. There's one. And then pull tappy from the right to the left. Nice. Let's do one more. And right here, we're just gonna rest. Here we go. Feel your body resting. Very nice. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's do a movement that's both forward, back, and side to side. Let's do it seated first, and then we'll do it standing. Okay, let's do working the pulley. All right, so if you are not already at the very front of your chair, I want you to scooch all the way up because even with a chair with no arms, the back of the chair is going to get in the way. And so working the pulley. The reason why it's both a forward, back, and a side to side move is because the upper body is turning at the same time that it's going forward and back. All right, so go ahead and put your left foot just a little bit out there. That'll be a good way to help remember that the left set of fingers starts up here near the shoulder, right? And just rotate your lower right arm. Good. So the way you know which direction to let the body turn is, I always say, pretend your belly button has suddenly become an eyeball. And it likes to turn towards the elbow that's attached to the lower arm, okay? So just let it do that and notice how without you even doing anything, your left hand went forward and your right elbow went back. Did you feel that? Yeah. So you're just gonna rotate and drop the left arm and then just semicircle the right arm in the back and suddenly your hands are switched. Good. So let the belly button turn towards this elbow now. And then you're just going to rotate and drop the front, semicircle the back. And now they're magically switched. So here we go. We're going to let it fly. Nice. God bless you. Nice. Let it fly. Because stuff flies sometimes, right? How many ways can we describe that word that starts with an S without using the actual word? Nice. See, we always call Tai Chi the effort of no effort. And this is a great example. Many people look at this and they say, oh, it's just like swimming. But it's so much easier than swimming. Swimming involves a lot of shoulder and back work. You know, we're just basically letting the turning of the body move your arms for you. I only meant to do 9, so we're going to just call this one 9. And when we get back to the middle, we're going to let the lower hand catch up with the upper one, and we're going to rest. Oh, nice. So since that movement is very bilateral, why don't we start with the other foot forward standing? If you like, if you want to stay seated, stay. That's totally fine. So here we are resting, right? And we're going to let all the weight flow into the left leg this time. So the right knee can just extend. Out goes the right foot. And that's the signal for the right fingers to come up here and the left one's here, right? So if you're standing and if you're unfamiliar with this, just let your weight flow from the back leg into the front leg, but let your upper body turn like it just did. Okay, so here we go. Nice. I heard a Tai Chi teacher once say, this is a little bit like walking down the runway, you know, in Paris, and then you turn to the people on the side and go, ta-da! Ta-da! So you're both going forward and back and very much turning from side to side. Nice. Very nice. Let's do one more. And right here, we're going to rest. Ah, nice. Awesome. Let's do one of the only other Tai Chi Chuan moves that's both forward, back, and side to side. Let's do 6 healing sounds. And I think I'm going to turn around so we're all going the same direction. Let me get my chair out of the way. So this one's a little bit like the cha-cha. We're going to go forward, back again, and then we're going to go to the side. forward, back, to the side. So you can call it the Tai Chi cha-cha-cha if you want. All right, and just what you're really going to want to pay attention to if you're standing is the empty leg, because when it gets really empty, it's going to be able to flow either forward or to the side with very little effort on your part. Okay? If you're seated, you're just going to let your upper body move the same ways you're watching my upper body move. Okay? It's going to be even easier for you to follow. So here we go. First, that left leg goes out there, and the left hand, and I'll do the sounds for everybody. We're going to come right back, and we're going to go forward again with both hands. And now while we're back here, we're going to turn to your right, and so your left leg is very empty, and it just kind of flows back and over. And here comes Su. Now your right leg's very empty, so it's going to go forward. And we're going to go forward again with both hands, so the Shi. And feel that right leg emptying out, and you're just going to flow to the side. And let's do the whole thing, 2 more sets of that. And the second sound is Hu. And the third sound is Su. And the fourth sound is Sh. And the fifth is Shi. And the sixth sound is Chui. Good sounds today. And the first one is Ho. And the next one is Hu. And the next one is Su. And the next one is Sh. And the next one is Shi. And the last one is Chui. Now let's just sweep side to side with the Chui. Let's do one more. And right here, we're just going to rest. Nice. Very nice. Awesome. I'll tell you what, let's do another just totally forward backward move. Okay. And if you're standing, just do along with me. Let's do pulling in the energy. So here we are resting. Let's let all the weight, I'm mirroring you again, flow into your right leg so your left leg can get out there first. And it's just like around the platter. Remember the turkey platter's out there, but your hands are going to be under it. Okay? So which leg are the hands going to go out over, do you think? Yes, that's good. So here we go. Nice. Good. Any sensations that you feel while you're doing Tai Chi Cha could be signs that it's working. I mean, if you don't feel anything different, there's nothing wrong with you. But a lot of people feel things that they don't feel during their day-to-day life. Now, if you're seated, check in with your Dantian again and see if you feel that subtle expansion on the way forward. Do you feel that? And the contraction on the way back? You feeling it? Oh, good. Put a pin in that. We're going to make a note of that in a moment. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And right here, we're going to rest. Nice. And let's do the other side. Here we go. Good. You might have noticed that a lot of the ways in which we move in Tai Chi Cha is very rhythmic and almost rocking. And it's also very bilateral. Whatever we do on one side, we do on the other. So Tai Chi Cha does a lot of the same things in the brain as some of the very commonly employed remedies for trauma, like EMDR and rhythmic bilateral stimulation activities. Even clinical hypnosis. It may seem really woo-woo, but it's kind of rock hard science. Let's do two more. Last one. Ah, and let's do two more moves that are technically forward back moves, but I always think of them as up and down moves too. We'll just do the first half of one of them in the chair, and we can stand up and do the second half if you want. Let's do light at the top of the head, light at the temple. Okay. I'm actually going to turn sideways for this so everybody can see what I'm talking about a little bit more clearly. But before we do it, I want you to just let the upper body shift slightly forward. So just let the weight shift from like the middle of your butt towards the front of your butt. And see if you feel your pelvis kind of spill forward. Did you feel that? And did you feel your upper body seem to grow like an eighth of an inch? Did you feel that? So that's how come light at the top of the head, light at the temple is an up and down move. Okay. And when you go back, I feel a little shrinking sensation in my body. Let's just go forward and back once again. Good. So again, pay attention to that. We're just going to scoop up a little bit of chi and bring your hands all the way up to the top of your head if this feels comfortable. If it doesn't, just put your hands wherever you want them to be. And we're just going to do those movements we're now very familiar with. A little bit forward and feel that expansion, and the hands get pushed apart. A little bit back and they kind of get sucked back. One more. And with your body in neutral, you're going to let your hands just sort of brush by each other. It's almost like you're washing your hands, but with air rather than water. And now you're going to hold. And now you're going to go a little bit back and a little bit forward. We're going to do that contraction, expansion thing one more time. And the hands are going to make a circle. Nice. Now, if you want to join me standing, let's do the second part standing. And if you want to stay in your chair, that's fine. So here we are. We're just going to gather up a little bit of chi and bring your fingertips up to about your temples now. You can all stand sideways. So we're just letting the weight shift backwards and feel a little contraction in your dantian. And then forwards and feel the expansion. It's a very up and down move. Good. Now with your body in neutral, we're just going to mix forward. It's like you're messing up your hair. And my thumbs are actually getting tangled up in my hair right now. And now you're going to hold. Good. And let's do that contraction and expansion thing again. And the up and down thing again. 1, 2. Big circle. Awesome. And let's end our practice with one more very up and down move, even though it is forward and back. I'm going to turn a little sideways again so all of you can see me. Just stay put in your chair. You don't even need to do anything with your lower body. If you were standing, you would just let your left foot flow out a little bit to the side. And now look, we all have our feet in exactly the same position, right? Awesome. So here we go. We're going to let the body sort of shift backwards and down and contract. And we're going to push down through the air with our hands. Or we're going to make like a special breath. We call it the joyous breath. So it's like doing this, but with your lips closed. So here we go. And then you're going to come forward and up, and you're going to inhale, and you're going to kind of pull your hands up through the air. And just turn the palms over and let's make the special joyous breath again, but in 4 pieces. Let them totally relax at the bottom. Let's do all that 2 more times. One more time. Wonderful. If you're standing, we're just going to let the body kind of flow back to rest. Nice. And let's do cosmic consciousness pose together. Again, if you're seated, you don't need to do anything with your lower half. If you're standing though, I'll turn around. All you do is kind of lift up the left heel and rotate a little bit and sort of kiss your right ankle with it. And now all of us together are going to let the hands rise up only to the point of comfort. Your fingertips are going to overlap and the left fingers are going to be closer to your body than the right. And ideally, you want your forearms to be about the height of your shoulders. And we're just going to hang out here and feel the sensations of your body when it's resting in this position. And let yourself flow all the way back down to rest. Nice. Good. All right, I'll tell you what, let's spend a few more moments doing good old-fashioned mindfulness. So find your very most comfortable rest position where you're in charge of your own spine rather than leaning back against the chair. Just find yourself coming to balance here. And just start to look around your inside with your mind's eye. Let it drift down and settle on a spot anywhere beneath the level of your belly button. And let's call the bell and we'll just begin our more focused period of attentiveness right now. Here we go. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the rest of us. How do you all feel? Do you feel relaxed?
My hands are tingling.
Really? That's kind of cool. And you did more standing today than usual, too. Yeah, well, but your knee is cooperating. That's great. Yeah, yeah. All right, well, a lot of the things that could go wrong went wrong today, and we're still here, and we all feel more relaxed anyway. So I call that a winning day. Thanks for tuning in out in Facebook land, and we'll see you in about 2 weeks. I'm going to turn that off. And then, yeah, if we have any questions or anything, we can talk.